video, I'm going to show you how to take an animation that you have in Cinema 4D and export a video of it frame by frame. So in this file I have a platonic solid known as an icosahedron, and I have it in an atom array, which just gives me sort of this ball and stick effect. And there's one material assigned to it to give it color. And if I hit play, currently there's an animation on it. And within the animation, I'm changing the color values of this material, which is how I achieve this result of going from white to pink to red to yellow. So I want to animate that. If I press Command R, I can get a still frame of my scene, or if I press the render view button right here, I get a still frame of my scene. But I want to capture that animation as a video. So in order to do that, I have to save out each frame of the animation and then play it back in sequence. So right now I have 90 frames, as you can see on the animation timeline on the bottom. And if I hit play, it'll play through the animation in the preview here. And that's good. But what I want to do is set up my animation parameters. So I need to go to the render settings, and under output you want to define the width and the height of your scene, which shows up in here sort of in a different grayish color in the window, and set the resolution to 72 pixels per inch, and choose frame range all frames, because you want to render every single frame. And you can choose how many frames are rendered here if you like. Next I go to save, and I can choose where I want to save it as. So I'm going to save all the frames of this animation in a folder I have here. I'm going to make a folder called frames. Great. And then I'm going to give it a file name of frame, because a number gets assigned after each frame automatically by Cinema. So I'll say save, and so this will be my file name, and I'll leave it on the default TIFF. You can save in different output formats each frame, but it doesn't really matter right now. So then I close that window, and when I press this window, this button, the render to picture viewer, it'll automatically start rendering. So click it, and it's going to go through and render each frame, showing the result right here. And so you just wait for it to finish. In this case, it's a really short render, but if you have a more complex scene, or you're doing a lot with lighting and materials and it's just more involved, it'll take longer to render. And it also depends on cores in your computer, the number of GPU and CPU cores you have. So now that's done, so I'm going to scroll up here on the right side, and you can see these are all individual frames. And I could also scrub through the animation this way and see each frame played back. So if I hit play, it'll play through all of them. So what I want to do is I can see that my frames have all been saved as individual image files right here. And now I'd like to export this as a video. So I go to the I have another instance here which I don't need. I'm going to go to the video folder here called frame, and I'm going to right click on it and say save image as, and under here you can choose how you want to save it. So you can save a still image, or you can save animation. So if you pick animation, you can pick the movie file format on the bottom. So I'll just pick MOV and leave everything else default, and say OK. And it'll ask me for a file name, so I'll put it just in this folder I have here and say output 30 frames per second. Save. So it'll save my animation out, and now when I open it, I can play it back. So this is really handy if you want to save a specific image ratio or video of a concept, and take this and share it on your website, share it on social media, or put it into a presentation as an animation video.